Yo, 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 yo. Jennifer, Mal, J. Paul, Adro, Infinity, EODX. Going on, everyone? How was everyone's weekend? How was everyone? What's everyone looking at for this week? What is everyone looking at? Anyone do anything cool? Sandman, what's going on? Carla, how you doing? So far, so good. Good. Bing, what's up? Everything's good. Brady, how you doing? Rob, how are you? What did everyone trade last week? Good, any good trades? Go over, okay, challenge. One. Futures are up right now. Dow plus 0.4, S&P 0.46, NASDAQ 0.8. Oh, you know, that's good. Very good. SPX. Everyone traded a lot of SPX. Everyone's on the SPX grind. Roku, I'm staying away, Zane. It's just constantly rejecting and, you know, false breakouts to the upside. Like all those names, Zoom, Roku, you know, Teladoc. A lot of those names I don't really like to trade because any move to the upside usually is a false breakout. Is anyone like a Rangers or Pittsburgh fan? They're playing at MSG right now. 1-1. What's up, Andre? Lost on Tesla? Oh man. Tesla will do that to you. Futures are looking nice, but you know, obviously everything can change. Last week we went up about 14% on the portfolio, 15% or so. Rangers. I'm an Islanders fan, but I mean, I'm rooting for New York, so let's go Rangers, I guess. Last week we played SPX 4000 call, bought it at 16.8, sold at 18.6 for a nice $200 profit, or $124 profit. And then we did SPX again later in the day, 6.9 and sold at 7.9, another $100. So we're up 277 to 2317. Mavs or Suns? I'm not really a big basketball guy, so I don't really care about basketball. But I do see some plays this week for the 2K account. For sure. If the market opens up where it's at, it's gonna be a good week. We're at 2300. I really didn't want to put 1600 or 1700 into one play, but I really like the setup and it paid off. You know, if this didn't go our way, we would have been at like 1500. So, you know, good thing it did. Didn't really want to risk that much, but you know, I like the setup and I like the risk to reward, so it was definitely worth it. If you guys can drop a like on the video, helps out a ton. Let's see what we got this week. See what we got. Link for the Discord is just BullTrades.net. So here's SPX. This is a nice looking chart, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great looking chart, right? We have an overall downtrend that officially just broke. All right, what is this guy doing here? I commenting. How do I ban someone? In the end. All right, hold on. Let me deal with this guy in the chat first. I have no idea how to ban someone. You don't know how to ban anyone? I wish I knew it. I don't know how to do it. Yo, Stone Michelson, get out of here. Okay, wait, here we go. There you go. Got it. Thanks, guys. We don't need any of that here. Definitely don't need that. Got it. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Let's get into it. So SPX looks great. We broke this official downtrend, and then we broke out to the upside, and now we're consolidating sideways, creating a perfect flag. So, you know, futures are looking fine right now. But if we can break out over this 40-38, 40-39 level, we have some nice upside here, right? I'm going to look for a push to 40-68, this previous resistance, and this previous support, right? Just like the ladder. So we break this level, it's likely that we're going to push up to this level. And we have a little gap to fill here. Definitely watch this to the upside. And then below 4,006, right? Below this candle, and these lows here, right? Double bottom, you know, lines up with previous support and this previous support as well, all across the board. So 4,000 really. Now, puts below that could definitely pay, right? We'll see 39.80 and then 39.65. So both directions have great risk to reward. So this week we should have plenty of setups. Hopefully we don't gap up or gap down too big, right? When that happens, then we need to reevaluate our trading plan and go from there. But SPX, great setup. That's on the 10-minute. If we zoom in a little bit, right, kind of have like a little falling wedge push, right? We could even chart that out here. We're sitting right at the resistance, right? Something like that, a little falling wedge kind of thing. Yeah, gaps get filled like majority of the time, so definitely need to watch that gap. Oh my god, here we go with this guy again. Luckily for us, I figured out how to ban them now. Sweet. What is wrong with people? Like, seriously. Whatever. All right, let's continue. People love trolling. So that's SPX, great setup. Keep an eye on it. I'll obviously keep you guys updated, and we'll go from there. Next, QQQ, right? Same exact thing, the same exact wedge, right? Higher and higher lows with a double top here. So if this level breaks 302.97, watch that for a push up to this resistance and this previous support, right? We also have a gap to fill as well. So some great setups this week. Great setups. Hate us because they ain't us. Exactly. On Webull, it's SPXW. On mobile, at least. On the computer, you have to add it. I don't know about any of the other applications. I've basically Traded on Webull. SPXW. So QQQ, kind of the same thing, right? Obviously, it's going to be similar. IWM as well, right? Higher lows, lower highs, consolidating right below the breakout zone. If we get a push over 178.75, we'll see 179.40. And I like the upside here, 180 plus, even to this high right here, around 182. Right, I'm gonna look for a push up to like this zone right here. Right, this previous support was a resistance, and then a previous support right here. What's up, Raphael? How are you? You guys can drop a like on the video. Appreciate it. You like that little subscribe button, guys? So IWM looks great as well, right? Everything looks similar. Upside, good risk to reward, and the downside, great risk to reward. Downside might be a little bit better if this rejects. So, you know, it's good for us, right? If you're a day trader, which I assume most of you are because you're following me, I don't care what direction the market goes, right? And you shouldn't either. Just play the levels. You don't want to have an opinion on whether or try and predict whether the market's going to go up or down. I personally don't care if the market goes up or down. In the long term, obviously I care, right? For everyone's 401k and Roth IRA and investment portfolio. But short term, I could care less, or I couldn't care less. I just play the levels and I play the chart. That's about it. But don't try and predict. If you try and predict, you're going to get killed. All right, what is with these people spamming? If you spam on the channel, you're just gonna get muted. So. Not a good market. Yeah, also, I don't recommend swinging. I mean, yes, it can work, but why not just day trade, right? Get a cash account, and just day trade. Get in and get out. You don't need big profits. The biggest thing I tell people on like one-on-one sessions is don't focus on making money, but focus on trading good setups, because when you trade good setups, you have a higher probability of winning and to be more consistent. And obviously when you trade good setups, money is going to follow along with it. Right, so just stick to trading good setups. That means you don't have to trade every day, right? You do not have to trade every single day. But understand that. All right, VIX. Let's take a look at VIX. 2-day. What do we got here? We had this little period of consolidation right underneath this high here, right? Multiple times it rejected across the board, and we had these higher lows put in place, but we broke to the downside. So that is great for the bulls. All right, this is a great signal for this upcoming week for a move to the upside. But again, don't predict, just play the levels. All right, from the lows, let's see. All right, so we need to watch these lows here because we're sitting at a kind of an important level here. If this level doesn't hold though, right around this region, well, look where this actually lines up. It's kind of interesting, right? These two lows here line up perfectly with this low and a potential reversal. So, you know, just need to be cautious here. But if this moves to the downside, we should see a move back down to 25 and 24, which would be great for the bulls. What's up, Chris? Glad to see you here. So, you know, definitely keep an eye on VIX, right? This is how I set up every single one of my watch lists. Right, I do SPX, QQQ, IWM, and VIX. I used to trade SPX all the time, but I stopped because most people couldn't afford it. But, you know, it does move way better. The options very nicely. Okay, so let's get into the watch list for this week. Well, so it looks very similar to SPX and QQQ and IWM, of course, but all right, same thing. Entry over this region right here at 178.50. Stop loss below if we do get that entry, right? But if we do move to the downside, I'm going to look for puts and a move down below 173.59, right? Which is low here. Everything is the same, right? I play everything the same. I look for wedges. I look for breaks of downtrends. Everything is the same, right? I plan the trade and trade the plan. Tesla as well. Tesla looks great this week. Higher lows, lower highs, entry over this region right here. I'm going to look for an entry a little bit earlier though, right? If I'm looking at this, I want to take an entry right around this region. Why do I do that? Because IV's lower. It does break out. I'm going to be sitting pretty. If it doesn't break out and moves back to the downside, right? I have a small position anyway. It's okay if I lose, right? Everyone has to understand that every trader loses, right? You have to keep that in your head, right? Everyone loses. It's fine to lose 30% of the time, 40% of the time, whatever it may be. If you trade these setups and you don't use emotion and you follow the chart, you're going to make money. Simple as that. If everyone could drop a like on the video, I would appreciate that. I only see 50 likes. We got 150 here. We have a ton of challenges going on right now. I am doing a $2,000 challenge account at 2,300. Just getting started. We have some great setups this week. I'm going to try and turn this into about 3,000 this week. Be up 50% on the account. That would be great. We have a 100 to a million challenge, Sea Blast. And now Ghost is doing a challenge only account. I mean a flow only account with 1,500 bucks. So a ton of challenges. You could follow all of them. You could follow none of them. Do whatever works best for you. One more thing to bring up. If you are a part of BullTrades, make sure that you know that we have a dashboard, an unusual options activity platform on our website. So let me go to this. Let me go to the website. So pull this up quickly. So on our website, right? If you're a member and you click dashboard, it's going to bring up this, and this is what you use. Brady, by the way, Sea Blast did complete a 100 to 1 million challenge. So it does sound ridiculous and it's not realistic at all, but he's done it before. So I wouldn't doubt him. Definitely wouldn't doubt him. Did it in 2020. Right? You also don't have to get to a million. Turning $100 into $500 is amazing. Right? $100 into $1,000 is amazing. Right? That's 1,000%. Anything where you can make money is amazing. You gotta look at it that way. Yeah, the bot is great. The bot is really great. So another thing to mention, in actionable insights, we have the bot, this thing, right? So definitely, don't obviously just blindly follow as you should with any. You should never, blindly follow with anything. But use this as like a, a watch list kind of thing. I mean, I technically did it too, but in like 5 years, 6 years, I started with 150 bucks and I've turned that into 7 figures. But obviously over time. And I also added money too, here and there. But a lot of people do it. It's possible, but keep in your head, don't risk your entire account if it's your only account, right? These challenge accounts are just money we don't care about, right? If we lose it, we lose it. Right? So if you are trading with one account and $2,000 or $1,000 is all you have, understand that if it goes to zero, we're still going to be trading regularly. right? So, you know, just take that in mind. Be cautious if you can't afford it. Everyone has different risk tolerance, so, you know, obviously just keep that in mind. But Tesla, right, looking for an entry over 775, and you know, puts would work under 758. We have huge downside risk here. I blew a ton of accounts. I lost over a lot. I lost a lot. My first 2 years, I lost a lot, and I lost consistently, and I still kept going because I knew, you know, it was gonna go somewhere. What's up, Phildo? That's how you say it. I blew up a lot. I lost like over 50 grand when I first started. That was like everything I had to my name at that point. And boy, was that depressing. Amazon. So Amazon, perfect falling wedge. Broke out to the upside, broke over this double top here, right? The triple top actually, right? 1, 2, and 3. And it broke out at the end of the day. Definitely gonna watch this tomorrow. Right? If this can hold over 2250, 2251, I'm gonna look for some continuation for a push back up to this level up here. 2300 and 2330, right? I have this level highlighted because of this previous support, right? 1 bounce, 2 bounce, next level, resistance, support. Go back over here. So that's why I'm looking at that 2300 and 2330 level. Yeah, if you full port every single position, right, it can only work for so long. And obviously, you know, when you win, it's going to be amazing. You double your account. But like, realistic, no chance. No chance at all. Right, obviously going from 100 to a million takes a little bit of luck. Shopify. Perfect falling wedge break at the end of the day. Going to be watching this for a push to the high here, 406. Right, this previous support distance. Right, kind of looks like a little rounded bottom. Looking for that next move to the upside. I'm going to look for an entry over this 406 level. About it. Twitter, I really like the setup on Twitter too this week. Right, has a nice double bottom, right? 1 area of support and 2 areas of support. You guys can drop a like on the video. I would appreciate that a lot. We have a great audience right now. So nice double bottom, little downtrend we have right here. We broke out towards the end of the day on Friday, and we're consolidating sideways now, right over this resistance. So if this can hold this little bottom, right, we're creating higher and higher lows. I'm gonna look for an entry right around this region, right around 4078 or 4080, and I'll add more once 4089 breaks out for a push up to around 41 plus and 4150 plus. I like this setup a lot, but this is on like the 3 minute, right? So this is only good for, you know, Monday morning, right? This isn't like an hour time frame that's going to take a while, right? This is just for Monday morning. Once the market opens, if it doesn't gap up or gap down, I'm going to be watching this, right? If it gaps up and it opens up here, this play is now invalidated. I won't look at it. Notice how I go on different time frames for each setup, right? Each setup has a different time frame where it's best at. This one's obviously a little bit longer, right? The 10 minute, the 15 minute. All right, a nice little falling wedge. Looking for an entry over that 220.23 mark. And I'm going to look for a push up to this level here. right? Previous support acted as a support, turned into a resistance, and turned into a resistance again. Right, then if this breaks, we should see a push up to around this level here, 225, right? Previous support turned into a resistance. Apple, right? Level of resistance, we're sitting at it right now. We have a nice double top here. We're creating higher and higher lows, right? One low, higher low, and a higher low. Nice candle there. Looking for a push over 148.10. And if that breaks, I'm gonna look for a push to around this level here. Apple looks pretty good. It does. And then the downside, right? You can always play below these lows here. 144.80. And I like to set my alerts below or above the level, just so I'm notified before the move actually happens. And then FTX I have here. So what I like about FTX, right? This region that we're at, we rejected it 3 times. Once, twice, and 3 times. And we finally broke through, and now we're creating a little falling wedge here, right below again. So if this breaks out above this 212.58 level, I'm gonna look for a push back to these highs here. 215, that would be a nice little play. And possibly some continuation. I like it. Gonna keep an eye on it. I saw someone mention AMD. The only reason I didn't add this to my watch list is because look at this. Right, it looks like a rising wedge is forming in place here, which is definitely bearish. Right, so likely these patterns. Not saying this is gonna happen, but right, we get the push up and then we get the move down. We break out, retest, and we come back down. Test, back down. Right, every single time that happens. So keep an eye out. If that happens, I'm gonna come back here and said I told you so. But if this breaks out, you know, I don't even like the setup, so this is why I don't even have it on my watch list. Take a look at the overall. Yeah, I think this is going to come back down and retest this right here. But we shall see. The thing is, like, AMD looks bearish in my opinion, but Nvidia looks bullish. Right, so they're obviously going to move very similarly, but Nvidia looks way better. Right, it's creating a lower high and a higher low. You guys could please drop a like on the video. We have a nice audience right now. Appreciate it, everyone. PLTR I won't trade. Cisco puts I actually love, because Cisco, every single ER they go down. I think for literally the last 20 years. They beat and they go down. All right, I'm clearly wrong. I haven't looked at it. They went up this last earnings, so I'm an idiot. This earnings they went down. This earnings went down. This earnings they went down. Earnings down. Earnings up. Down. I used to have this stock, and every earnings I remember I would just get crushed. Down. Down. And they beat on every single one. Down. Up. You know, most likely they go down, but not a bad thought. You look at the setup. But I hate playing earnings. Highly suggest not playing earnings. Raphael said, I've noticed that falling wedges is more profitable for me in regards to puts than rising wedges are. So the thing about falling wedges is they offer the best risk to reward, in my opinion. They result in huge moves to the upside or downside. So, you know, if you get in on the right side of the trade, it's going to be very profitable. Nvidia, they don't have earnings. They have it on the 26th. Oh, 2 weeks. So the question, I would play puts. Hello. I would play puts. If this level breaks, I'll play puts to the downside. But falling wedges and bull flags are continuation patterns, right? If this chart was like this, I would absolutely be in favor of puts, but it's not. It's a bull flag, right? Bull flags and falling wedges are continuation patterns. Why I'm interested in calls. AMC, no chance I'm touching. AMD, no, I don't think it does have a good risk to reward. BA, take a look at BA. The thing with BA, like, look at the daily. That's an ugly chart. Huge consolidation. Not really a fan. We can break out over this. I like it. Right, entry over that point, but it has resistance right here. If we can break out over this zone, I'd look for a push to this level here. All right, and then if we can break that, it's gonna push to the level right here. So David asked, if you're using 15-minute chart, do you define a breakout by a 15-minute candle closing above? No, I don't wait for confirmation like that. I think that's silly. Everyone obviously has a different strategy. I enter before or as soon as it breaks. By the time a candle closes, it's too late. I want to take advantage of implied volatility, so I get in as soon as it breaks, and I follow the chart. I have a clear plan going into the trade. I know where I'm going to sell, whether it's in profit or whether it's in the loss. AFRM. I like this little wedge here. Kind of like a flat top here. NVIDIA play Friday. Yeah, NVIDIA had some great flow. There was so much flow right at the open. And look where it bounced. Right off this previous support and this resistance. Came down, bounced, bull flagged. All right, take a look at this flag here. This is like a perfect wedge. Can't believe I missed this. Perfect wedge right to the high. Need to run all day. What's my bread and butter strategy? I'm literally going over it right now. I play flags. I create a plan and I trade the plan. Kathy Wood stock bounce continue next week? I have no idea. Kathy Wood is getting murdered. He's getting killed. Penguins are winning 2-1. For any of my my fans. I mean the Penguins fans and Rangers fans. Coin. One's getting murdered as well. I ain't touching this. I stick to the same names, guys. Right, like this I'm not touching. Why? Because I'm not. Just as simple as that. I don't want to. I'm gonna stick to SPX and the main names I always trade. There's liquidity. I know how they move. I'm used to playing them. Yeah. I've really just been trading SPX, Tesla, and Amazon recently. And I'll continue to trade the same names. UAL. Look. So right away, the first thing I see is this kind of like a rising wedge. Right, that's the first thing I notice. Unless you look at it like this. Right, there's a couple different ways you can look at it, but it offers a clear risk to reward, right? Entry point over this high, right? And if you do enter that high, your stop loss is going to be below here, right around this region. Right, and your price target, first you need a break of this level, right, the high. Next price target is going to be this region. All right, so with everything, you need to have a plan. You need to know where you're going to sell and where you're going to buy. Okay. First thing I notice is this downtrend, right? From the high here, this double top, rejected once, twice, 3 times, then broke out, a little retest. You know, you could get an entry over this region right here. This could totally work. Yeah, also like what Phil just said, you know, Tesla, Amazon, SPX, they all have expensive contracts, which is like, right, it fits my style of trading, which is why I trade it. Everyone should have the, you know, their own strategy of trading. Amazon contracts aren't a wide spread. It's usually like 50 to 100 bucks, which isn't really much when, you know, the contracts are $3,000-$4,000. But like SPY, you could trade AMD, Nvidia, right? Twitter, Target, Apple even has cheap contracts. There's so many different names you could trade that offer, you know, good liquidity. I like to keep a short list, just like JV said. You know, I'll keep it like this. I know exactly what I'm gonna do. If it doesn't work out and they all get invalidated, that's okay. I'll reevaluate middle of the day, when everything gets choppy, and I'll go from there. Do we look at the options charts? No, never. A bunch where SPX trades were taking a peek. Check out Google. I haven't looked at Google in a long time. I like this flag. I'll add it to the watch. Google spreads big though. Google has a big spread. Same with Shop. Just something to note. Right, entry over this region right here. If we get that entry right there, stop loss is going to be around this region. And price targets up here. Right, if it comes to the downside, right, entry below the low, and price target gap here. I most definitely look at flow. Most definitely. I enter as soon as it breaks. And strike price, I pick a strike that can go in the money. I pick a strike that can go in the money. So if I enter here at 2,300, I'm going to go for a 2,350 call. Right? A 2,400 call could work, but too far out of the money for my liking. Right? There's no like perfect way to pick strikes. Obviously, the closer to the money, the safer it is, then the lower the reward. So I like to pick something that is in my target zone. So 2,350 call for this one. How do I deal with FOMO? I've been trading for so long that you'll come to realization that it doesn't matter if you miss a setup. There's always a setup. right? Every single week, the market's here. Always another trade. You miss it, big whoop, move on to the next one. Do not get FOMO. It's useless, right? If you're getting FOMO, that means you're too locked in on just trying to make as much money as possible. That's the only reason someone gets FOMO, is because they have fear of missing that profit, right? That shouldn't be your intention. Your intentions should be to trade the best setups. And when you trade the best setups, you have the best probability. And when you trade the best setups, you have the best probability of making the most money, right? So it's all mindset. The emotion is a huge factor in trading. And you guys need to position small according to your account. You need to play the setup. Can't say it enough. Can't say it enough, guys. Plan the trade and trade the plan. Ghost trades live every day, and D-Cruise as well. Volume profile is just volume by price as opposed to volume by time, right? The highest point here is where the most amount of shares traded happened in this current chart. It can act as a support or resistance. All right, so look how it changes when more data comes up onto the screen. Yeah, I mean, I like to trade by myself. I'd rather post quality content than in voice chat all day. I also have a lot on my plate at once. Yeah, people, you should not have FOMO. FOMO's for gamblers. Facebook, I charted this earlier. Looks decent, but like if you enter over this level here, has room to like 202. I don't know, I just didn't like the risk to reward. And the setup, it just like, it's kind of like all over the place, Facebook right now. So I just didn't add it. Expanding wedges, I mean, they're great. I just don't trade them. No really reason why. I just have a certain plan. I stick to that plan. Carl asked, how do you know when the wedge is an actual breakout or the wedge just being extended? Should you hold if you entered early? So before you get into the setup, you should always have a plan, right? Every single trade, for example, look at FTX. All right, this is like a, let's do this. Right? The ideal wedge looks like this. Right? Lower highs, higher lows. The perfect entry is usually within this region, right? So if you enter here, right, your entry here, let's say you enter right here and it comes back down and it's just hovering sideways or right in the middle of the flag, you're not selling still because your stop loss is below this low here, right? So this goes along with trading based off your P&L. Right, if you trade off your P&L, you're probably going to sell when it's over here because you're in the red. But you have to trade and you have to set your stop losses based on support and resistance, not percentages. Right, so if you enter here and it starts trading in the middle here, it doesn't break out right away, I'm still holding this. I'm waiting for the setup to follow the plan, right? If it comes down to here, I'm selling. If it moves up to my profit zone, I'm going to trim and I'm going to hopefully, hopefully it's going to push up and continue to run. If not, I sell at break even if it comes back down. It's called VPVR, volume profile. Level 2, never looked at in my life. How every flag should look, right? Or a falling wedge like this. Right, falling wedges look like this. Sometimes this goes like this and everyone gets faked out. Right, a lot of times that happens. Nothing you could do about it. That's just the market trying to get as much liquidity as possible. So I don't set stop losses. I do everything manually, but I always set them below support and resistance. Right, everything is based on support and resistance. Gotta keep it simple. Gotta keep it simple. Just like this chart shows. Let me pull it up. Let me see if I still have it. Second. Find this chart that I sent to everyone. This. Screenshot it if you don't have it. This is what everyone needs to, you know, trade. This one's wrong. Oh no, this one's wrong. The rising wedge, it says head and shoulders, but you know, besides that, everything is correct. There's no specific number of touches for a wedge. Everything's different, but they all trade the same. I mean, the amount of trades I take per week is obviously different, but I never take more than 2 trades at once, right? I can never take, personally, I can never take more than 2 trades at once. Not saying 2 is like max, maybe sometimes 3, right? All right, so this is like a golden cheat sheet. I don't know who made it. Golden Engine. Thanks, Golden Engine. Idea who that is. This is how every setup should be, right? You have your stop loss, you have your entry, and you have your target. Reversal patterns, continuation patterns. This is already in Discord, in the market resources section. Go get it. Go get it. Very easy. Everyone makes it too complicated. I don't use any indicators. Nothing fancy. I just trade price. And it works extremely well. Works extremely well. 3-2 Pittsburgh. Nice goal. Nice goal. What other questions you guys got? I'd rather not do chart requests. I feel like they only last for so long. I'd rather answer questions, you know, about trading in general. You can please drop a like on the video if you haven't yet already. I appreciate everyone that did. This has been a great stream so far. We kind of covered a lot here. Good setups this week. I'm excited about this week. You know, definitely a lot of potential here. Gonna look to grow this this challenge account, but remember, if none of my setups get triggered, if we gap up or gap down, I'll sit out. Also, my challenge account is a margin account, so I only have one day trade left for this week. You know, I did that because I wanted to make it as challenging as possible, right? Limiting me to 3 day trades per week. So it is what it is. Yeah, simplicity is all it is. Everyone makes it too complicated. BT Cloud is like the 4 EMA. The details are in the tech chat in the Discord, in the pinned comments. Tips on patience. I mean, that's just with experience, letting the setup come to you. Plan the trade and trade the plan. Simple as that. Let the setup come to you, plan the trade and trade the plan. Like my golden words. Mention I look at flow. Can you be more? I look for out of the money flow, out of the money sweeps. Weeklies only. I day trade. So if something is a month out, kind of irrelevant to my trading plan. I do not wait for candle closures. By the time you wait for their closure, setup's done. You missed the move. If you're day trading. The more time a resistance gets tested, the weaker it gets. Right, so this was a triple top, and the fourth time it went. I never do spreads. So for small accounts, I have an initial price target, and I'll take profit based on that price target. Whether it's 10% or 50% or 100%, right? If my target, let's go over SPX. Right, I think this last week I was trading this little wedge here. So this was the chart. All right, let's do a different color so I can identify, so I don't have to delete it. Do blue. All right, so let's say the chart looked like this. Right, had a clear level of resistance. I was looking for an entry over this level here. And this was on the challenge account. Right, so if I entered here, I'm gonna have a stop loss somewhere below this level here. All right, so let's hit play. Well, first of all, before we do that, we need to identify an area to take profits at. So this resistance was my first zone. So I was on a $2,000 account. So I was being extra cautious. So I just used this level, I think, or maybe this support. One of these levels, I don't remember correctly, but in this zone right here. So I was looking for an entry over this 4,003 level, 4,004, whatever it may be. Stop loss below, and price target in this region. Play, see what happens. Right, so at this point, I'm looking at an entry right here. So I did say 4,003, but it's getting very close to this blue line, right? We have a little wedge here, and we have higher lows, right? So we have one low, we have a higher low, and we have a little falling wedge under resistance. Right, so we have this low, we have a higher low, we have lower highs, right? Price is consolidating right over this double top resistance, right? I'm looking for a breakout here. Right, so I'm going to enter here, stop loss below, and the price target in this region here. Pushes through right into our zone. At this point, we took profits. Now it was a couple $100 trade. Right, and I think it continued to run. Right, but nothing we could do. We took our profits. It was a successful trade. That's all I'm looking for, right? It continued to run. Contracts went to, I think, 10,000 from 2,000. It is what it is. I had it on the main account, so whatever. But on a small account, you can't take that risk to, continue to let it run. I take profit when I see profit on a small account like that. This is how every trade should work, right? As soon as I was in the, here on a main account, I would have moved my stop loss, my entry point, right? That way I'm in a free trade. Challenge account is just in these channels here. 100 to a million is him, this is me, and this is Ghost. We'll focus on the Amazon split when the time comes. If I don't have a day trade, I'm not going to take a trade. It's as simple as that. I don't need to get in a trade having to worry about me not being able to sell. Right? Your goal as a trader is to limit your downside. Right? Shouldn't be a profit first trader. You should be a risk first trader. I'm looking at, you know, like the any time frame. There's nothing really too specific there. Depends on the setup, honestly. I feel like the 3 or 5 minute intraday. Trying to go back to the questions I missed. I enter when a level gets broken. Simple as that. Confirmation is just like, by the time it confirms itself, it's too late. I take advantage of the IV spike. Challenge accounts, the pros are, it's riskier. You know, that could be a pro or a con, right? It's riskier, so there's higher profit potential. But like if I lose the entire 2,000, I don't really care. It's just a challenge, right? And it's 2,000 bucks. So if it blows up, it is what it is. But I'm trying to, you know, grow it as conservatively as possible. I exit when it, you know, touches my area, basically. I don't do TA with extended hours on. Find it irrelevant. You don't need it. Don't need it, in my opinion. If everyone could drop a like, if not done so already, I would appreciate it. All right, we covered a lot, guys. It's about 9 o'clock. I'm gonna go watch the Ranger game. The rest of it, second period just ended. If you're not in the Discord already, make sure you join. Oh yeah, C-Bless is also doing a 5K challenge. Is under Icon. The first week's gonna be free. Trading SPX only. I think this one's gonna go great. He's been killing it on SPX. I'll definitely keep a lookout for this one. On that note, everyone have a good one. Make sure you plan the trade the plan. Otherwise, you're gonna get slapped. Telling you, you gotta plan the trade and trade the plan. All right, guys. On that note, have a good one. I'll talk to you tomorrow.